Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Let's continue playing chess. We got a 2100 opponent. Play this move. Okay, we'll take, get the center. We'll get the full center here. E5 is a move, maybe. I've seen some, in some engines, in the engine analysis, sometimes they suggest the C5, C5. Yeah, C5 is probably, E5 is also a move though, but I think going here and allowing this straight will open up only his bishop, so there is that. We could take, but I would get like a strong pawn in the center, and even if his bishop opens up, this pawn might be an asset, preventing his knight from developing here. So let's do that. Okay, we get here, pinning this guy. I can unpin. Do we have any tactics? Not that I see. How can he play this? We have a check. He's probably going to play knight here anyways. So, right, let's unpin. Castle. Also, we could think of kicking this bishop out after he plays knight here. Here, he gets into this diagonal though, which is a good diagonal too, so maybe we don't want to kick it yet. We'll see. Probably we want to castle here now. Yeah, this castle, there's no sacrifices. We can kick too, but yeah, not worth it. Because I think he'll just go here and it's not useful. We can attack that bishop. Try to gain a tempo on it. The bishop doesn't have too many squares that I see. So maybe it has to drop back. How do we follow it up? Maybe follow it up by an attack like this on this diagonal if he drops back. Otherwise, we take the bishop. This pawn does become a bit weak though, if we take the bishop. So that's something to consider. So he provokes me to take the bishop, because after takes, this pawn becomes very unstable. But, well, we decided to come take the bishop, so we can't back off now. What can we do to follow this up? What can be done about this? Okay, we can play this move, making him take with the knight, and then we can pin the knight. This might be an approach. And also this pawn is hanging behind the knight, which might all be a nice way to counter-attack defend the pawn by counterattacking. Because he can't take with the queen, he loses the knight. If he takes with the knight, I could choose between taking this pawn or pinning the knight. Both look lucrative, but I would probably take this pawn because he can keep defending this knight. I don't think I have enough attackers here. Right? So I don't think I have enough attackers, so I will probably take back this pawn. That's the nice way of dealing with the situation. And now that it defends the knight, now he's threatening to take with this queen. In this situation, now we can just play this move, guarding the pawn again. Attacks a bishop. We can develop this bishop blocking the attack, which looks solid. Yeah, let's do that. Also, get some pressure on this pawn, but basically blocking this attack. Maybe now we want to kick this bishop, because even if he goes here, maybe we have some ideas like this, kicking him out of this diagonal, although he has this. So maybe not yet. Next move, we want to get our other rook centralized. Okay, he's preparing to push the pawn maybe. We can get our other rook centralized. Solid move, stopping, controlling the square in front of the pawn. And seeing what the opponent is thinking. Okay, plays this move. Again. Right move. Kicking the bishop and letting it go here doesn't achieve much other than I get the loft for the king, I guess. Let's just ask this knight what it's doing here, because it is not that clear what this knight is up to. It's not really able to take this pawn. And other than that, it doesn't have too many good squares to retreat to either. So if he can get this move in, might be bad. Okay, he stops this move. Now he gives some square over here, which is kind of weak. Might be able to use that square. Thinking. Going here gives up this pawn. Not ideal. There's no other move. One thing I can do is I can transfer my queen here, guarding this diagonal, and then I can push. There might be this move, and I go here. Okay, let's do this. Guarding this diagonal so I can push, and he has to basically take. Because otherwise, if he goes, he can also go there actually. There and then transfer. Again, not a good move by me. Want to can take this knight. Right? He can take this. And in the resulting position, we might have something. We have to take back. We don't have a check. We have to take this back. Okay, let's do it that way. But yeah, we don't have a check. We have no intermezzo move, so yeah, just an exchange here. Maybe we get some. Okay, takes with this. So let's get out now. Okay, this pawn is also under attack now by a lot of pieces. By a lot of pieces. Let's try some counterattack on this, as well as maybe some pressure here, but I do not know whether this works. So if queen takes, this hangs, If rook takes, then I will exchange this rooks, and then queen takes, this hangs, and if knight takes, this rook is hanging. So maybe it is working, but it is pretty tight. Barely holding on to the pawn there with tactics. Also, I'm threatening this move, which is nice. Okay, rook takes. We will take. We will take this as we planned. Threatening mate in one, but you'll obviously defend it somehow. But how do we continue this? Okay, goes there. Wants a queen exchange. Wants to exchange everything basically. After the queen exchange, the rooks get exchanged. Can we avoid this? I don't think so. Maybe we can go here, but we can take. Okay, we play the endgame then. See how that goes. We attack that pawn. Endgame and bring the king. Attack this pawn and try to bring the king. He has an isolated pawn. He has 3 pawn islands, while I have 2 pawn islands. So, and the pawns are on either sides of the board. So maybe that was not a good move. Okay, but I'm still controlling this knight actually, which might be useful. Let's get the king. Let's get the king. He defends that. Now, do we get anything by doing this? Maybe not. We have a majority on this side of the board, so we could start pushing here. Now, how do we want to push? This is interesting. We don't want to give him any activity. This pawn might be a asset. So let's go here. Guard the square as well. So we are not only pushing our majority, but we are also controlling the knights further. The knight starts to remaneuver, which allows us to do this move. If no checks, guard the squares again. Keep pushing our majority, right? Then maybe we can get an outside pass pawn in this side. Okay, knight is targeting the square as well as the pawn. We can play passively, we can also play like this, but don't think it's wise to play like that. I think we play passively here. Keep the knight under control. Keep the knight under control. And maybe try to exchange this knight off and hope for a better endgame. So after we do this, okay, so we don't want to give these squares away. How do we want to do this? Let's read out this bishop in some way where we are attacking this pawn like this or like that. If we go like this, or we go like this, let's keep this pawn guarded for some reason, I don't know, but either way we are trying to attack this pawn. This pawn is the weak pawn in this position. Attack it. He doesn't have a way to guard it, at least I do not see, but maybe he has some counter attack, but we'll see about that. We will deal with it when it comes. He has maybe, yeah, he's trying this sort of stuff, but he picks up that. But wait, this guards that, so I do not know what he is trying. Yes, so we got a pawn. Perfect. So we managed to win this endgame, but it's still very, very hard to. It's not simple yet. He is trying to come into the square. We cannot allow this. So we get the opposition here, with the kings opposite to each other. And now we will push our pawns, right? So again, he wants to come here. So what if we do this? Takes. He goes here, we go here. That should be a winning endgame. I do not know, but that should be a winning endgame. It looks like here it takes forever to take this pawns and push. I did not calculate all this, but it looks like he has to take all these pawns and then he will start pushing. Okay, if he gets this, then definitely it might be a better position, but obviously we won't give him that. We can push as well as we can do this. If we take or push. If we push or take, either way he has to go after this. Let's push. Either way he has to run after this, which takes even more time now, I feel. And okay, he can not trade this, but like what will he play in this position, right? Whatever he plays, I think we are doing good here. But we have 1 minute and we have to convert this endgame. It's still a pretty tough job. But we'll keep trying. We got a pawn advantage at least. Okay, opponent is thinking. He can move back. If he moves back, we come forward. If he moves here, we come forward. If he trades, that's the best option, I feel. Because then we have some kind of threats. But yeah, there is no clear win. I do not see a clear win yet. And something should work out. Since we are up a pawn, something should work out. He moves back. If we trade, then we still have no ways to infiltrate, right? But here, and he gets that. Okay, let's do this. Right? And let's go here, breaking the opposition here, and then he has to react. Yeah, so after he goes here, we go here, and now he has to go back because all these squares are guarded. So we will come into the position and we'll win the game. Okay. Oh, okay. So this is a draw. Yeah, this is a draw. Okay, well played, opponent. Could not convert this game. Yeah, there's no way. He keeps the position, right? So we cannot win this. We cannot come into the position. So if we can't come into the position, we do not get anything. We do not get anything here. Let's take the draw. Okay, hope you enjoyed the video. I wonder, let's analyze this game. See where we messed up. Maybe without the engine, we will try to see if we can figure it out. So in this position, if instead of going here, okay, let's get this engine out. We were clearly winning there. Opponent started the analysis. But instead of going here, if we took and then went here, he still has this. Yeah, so this is instructive, right? So if we have less pawns on the board, then opponent also has less pawns on the board. And in that case, like it is easier to find infiltrations. But with more pawns like this, the squares are all guarded, right? So if the squares are all guarded, then it's easier to prevent the king from infiltrating. So as you see in this position, so all the squares are being guarded. So if we go back, when I made the decision of pushing the pawn instead of taking, right, I should have taken this pawn because that way there will be more real estate and it will be easier to infiltrate into the position. And if I push, now this pawn is preventing my king from infiltrating, even though it is like I'm still up a pawn, but in the end game, it becomes easier for me to infiltrate. Here also maybe take, get some real estate. So that's the learning opportunity from this game, I feel, because the less pawns opponent has on the board, if we just keep trading the pawns, we are still up a pawn, right? And yeah, with the center wide open like this, I feel that it would be easier to infiltrate, and something like this where we couldn't infiltrate right here. Yeah, so he went back and we got here, but yeah, this position would be winning, but we didn't get that because of all these pawns. We would have somehow managed to get get around the pawns, but these blockades are very strong. Okay, so let's see what the engine has to say about it. Yeah. Wait, I was winning? It's apparently winning. How was I winning? So goes here. So this is also very interesting because it wants some sort of triangulation. Go back, come forward. This is very interesting. Do not understand. Do not understand this. So this is winning. That was winning. Okay. So that's also true, I guess, but in particular example, this works out, right? But opponent also gets a lot of activity. So it is very risky to do this. But yeah, so this is also winning in this case. Okay, good to know. But hope you enjoyed the video and see you in the next video. Bye.